Hello students, today we are going to start our new chapter of accountancy, that is dissolution of partnership firm. This is part 1 of that chapter, and in this chapter there are two concepts. The first concept is dissolution of partnership and the second concept is dissolution of partnership firm. We think that both the concepts are same, but in actual both the concepts are different. First of all, dissolution of partnership. Dissolution of partnership means termination of old partnership agreement and reconstruction of new partnership agreement, and that is the result of admission, retirement and death of a partner. It means that in dissolution of partnership firm, the old partnership comes to an end and new partnership started from that point. That is the dissolution of partnership. And the second concept is dissolution of partnership firm. Dissolution of partnership firm means the firm closes and comes to end. After that, there is no existence of that type of business. So on the dissolution of partnership firm, the assets are sold, the liabilities are paid, and the remaining amount are settled. Here, the first concept is dissolution of partnership. The dissolution of partnership comes in the following cases. First one, that is chapter number 2, in case of change in profit sharing ratio of the existing partner. And we always saw dissolution of partnership in the case of admission of the partner, in the case of retirement of the partner, in the case of expulsion of a partner. Expulsion means when partner wants to expand their business, that is expulsion of business. So expulsion of a partner, that comes in the dissolution of partnership. In case of death, in case of insolvency and in case of expiry of the period of partnership. It means that when the partnership started for a specific period of time, after that when the period end, that time partnership also comes to an end, that topic is also comes in the dissolution of partnership. Then dissolution of partnership firm. Dissolution of partnership firm come in the following ways. First one is without the intervention of the court. It means in this type of dissolution, the court is not involved. The first one is in this type, that is mutual agreement. When all the partners want to dissolve their business, that time with the consent of all the partners, the business get dissolved. That is called mutual agreement. The second one is compulsory dissolution. In the following cases, compulsory dissolution exists. The first one is when all or one of the partner becomes insolvent. It means when any one partner or all the partners become insolvent, that time it is compulsory to dissolve the partnership firm. The second case, when they carried the business that is illegal business, that time compulsory dissolution of partnership firm. Second one is on happening of an event. If this type of happenings comes in the business, that time compulsory dissolution comes in the existence. That is on the insolvency of a partner, and second one on death of a partner. Third one is on fulfillment of the object for which the firm was formed and on the expiry of the period. Then the next one is by notice. When the duration of the firm is not fixed and it at will, any partner by giving notice to other partners can dissolve the firm, that time compulsory dissolution occurs. The second one is when order of the court. Sometime the court gives the order that type of firm can be dissolved under the some days. So first case is when a partner has become of unsound mind. Unsound mind means if any partner becomes mad, that is unsound mind. In that case, the court gives the order to the firm that the firm may be closed. The second one is when a partner and other than the partner filling a suit has become permanently incapable of performing his duties as a partner. It means that sometime the partners file a case in the court that he is incapable to perform his duty. That time the court gives notice that the business may be dissolved or can be dissolved. The third one is when a partner other than the partner filing a suit is guilty of misconduct that may harm the partnership. It is also the same case. The next one is when a partner other than the partner filing a suit willfully or persistently commits breach of partnership agreement. And the next one is when a partner other than the partner filing a suit has transferred the whole of his interest in the firm to the third party. It means that the partner sold their property to the third party. In that case, compulsory dissolution by the court is occurs. And the next case is when the court is satisfied that firm cannot be carried on except at a loss. It means that court satisfied that the firm is not in the position of earning profit, the firm always earned loss. So that time court gives notice that this type of firm may be dissolved. The next one is when the court is satisfied that dissolution is just and equitable due to some other reasons. It means that in some cases court is satisfied that dissolution is compulsory and there is need of dissolution. That time dissolution occurs. Here the difference of dissolution of partnership and dissolution of firm is given. So first of all, meaning of dissolution of partnership. Dissolution of partnership means changes change in the existing agreement, but it does not mean that closure of the firm. It means that continues its business. And the second topic is dissolution of firm. It means that closure of the firm. It means end of the business. The second one is continuation of the business. In the case of dissolution of partnership, the firm continues its business. But in the case of dissolution of firm, the business of the firm comes to an end. It means that after dissolution of firm, the business will end. There is no existence of the business. The next one is economic relationship. Economic relationship between the partners continues through in a change form. It means that after dissolution of partnership, the business continues. But in the case of dissolution of firm, economic relation between the partners comes to an end. The fourth one is closure of the books of the accounts. In the dissolution of partnership, the books are not closed, but in the dissolution of partnership firm, the books are closed. Settlement of assets and liabilities. In the case of partnership, in the case of dissolution of partnership, the assets and liabilities are revalued and their profit and loss distributed among the partners in old profit sharing ratio. But in the case of dissolution of partnership firm, the assets are sold, the liabilities are paid, and the remaining amount be settled. Effect. Dissolution of partnership does not necessarily means that dissolution of firm, but dissolution of firms means dissolution of partnership. It means that if dissolution of partnership occurs, that does not mean that dissolution of firm. Only partnership comes to end, not the firms to comes to an end. But in the dissolution of firm, the firm comes to the position of end. That time the partnership also comes to an end position. Court intervention. In the case of dissolution of partnership, no intervention of the court. But in the case of dissolution of partnership firm, maybe the court intervened or maybe the court does not intervene. It is choice of the firm and sometimes compulsion of the firm. Settlement of accounts on dissolution. First of all, amount of loss including the deficiency of capital shall be paid. It means that if any firm bear continuously loss, that loss covered by the previous profit. If profit is not sufficient, so that amount covered by the capital. And if the capital is also not sufficient, that time the amount of loss covered by the partners. It means that partners comes with the money from their home or from their personal property. Second one is amount released from sale of assets. It means that after the sale of asset, the firm is earning some money, and that money used first of all to pay outsiders' debt. It means the liability of the outsiders can be paid first of all. Then the remaining amount are used or can be utilized for paying the outsiders loan. After that, the remaining amount paid to pay the partner's loan. If any other amount remained, that amount can be distributed in the partners in profit sharing ratio. The next topic is payment of firm's debt and private debt. What is the basic difference between firm's debt and private debt? Firm's debt. Firm's debt means if the firm on or takes money from outsider and they pay that money to outsider, that is called firm's debt. Private debt, it means that when a partner takes money from any person for his personal use, that is called private debt. And amount released from sale of the asset of the firm is first used to pay off the firm's debt. It means that if any business sell their assets and that time they earn money, that money can be used for paying the firm's debt. After that, if there is any surplus, that can be distributed among the partners. That money cannot be utilized for paying the private debt. Second concept is amount released from the sale of estate of partner will be used first to pay the private debt. If there is any surplus available, it will be used to paying off the firm's debt. For understanding this both two concepts, let's take an example. Suppose if A started a business and for starting the business A takes loan from the bank of rupees 10 lakh and A also makes building for their residence purpose and also takes loan for that purpose of rupees 5 lakh. It means total loan of A 10 lakh for the business and 5 lakh for the residential use. So first of all, if the firm or A's business sell their asset and earn 12 lakh rupees, out of 12 lakh they can use 10 lakh for paying the firm's loan. After that 2 lakh remains. That 2 lakh cannot be used for paying his personal debt. That 2 lakh distributed among all the partners like A, B, C. But in their personal property, if after some time A sell their building of rupees 20 lakh, so that time after getting 20 lakh, A pay first of all 5 lakh for his personal debt. Then the remaining amount is 15 lakh. Then 15 lakh they can used in for paying their firm's debt also. The next topic is difference between firm's debt and private debt. Firm's debt. Firm's debt means if the firm takes debt from the outsider, that is called firm's debt. The second one is private debt. If the partner takes debt from the outsider, that is called private debt. Who is liable? For firm's debt, all the partners are jointly or severally liable for paying the debt. But in the case of private debt, only the partner is liable who is taking the debt for paying the debt. Application of firm's property. firm's property is applied first towards payment of firm's debt, and application of firm's property in the case of private debt. Concerned partner's share is excess of firm's property. If A's share is greater than their debt in the firm, that time that property can be utilized for paying their personal debt. But if A's property is not sufficient in the business, that time A cannot be pay his personal debt. Application of private property. Surplus of partner's private property can be used for paying the firm's debt. But surplus of firm's debt cannot be used to pay private debt. In dissolution of partnership firms, we make 4 accounts. The first one is realization account, the second one is partner's loan account, the third one is partner's capital account, and the fourth one is cash or bank account. We will discuss all the 4 accounts in the next video in detailed way.